Hi, Becca C. Smith here, and today I am doing the tag created by Mandi Lynn called Behind the Book Tag. Now, I was tagged by Jasmine Little, who's amazing. You should check out her channel, and you should check out Mandi Lynn's channel. They're both awesome author tubers, and I will link both their channels and their videos below. But this is a nice, fun, short tag. I know Mandi created it for the release of her new book, and I know normally people are probably, with this tag, going to talk about books that they're currently working on or that they just released, but I was talking to Kate Cavanaugh the other day, also an amazing author tuber. I will put her link below too, and she was saying that even after a couple months of watching some of my videos, she didn't even realize that I had written a lot of books. And I realized that I don't really talk about my books. I just talk about the books I'm currently working on. So it makes sense, but at the same time, I guess I just sometimes feel weird about. It's so stupid. I mean, I'm on authortube. That's what you should be talking about, is your books. But I just, I don't know. So I decided to use this tag to talk about my very first book, which is called Riser. I wrote it in 2009, released it in 2010. Yeah, so let's get started. Question number 1. What is my book about and what genre is it in? Well, Riser is about a young teenage girl who has the power to control the dead. So it's kind of my spin on the zombie genre and necromancy. It's not just that she can control dead bodies, she can, but it's that she can control anything dead, like down to a piece of dust, because technically it's a dead skin cell. I mean, she can control anything as long as it's dead. And the way she sees that is a black swirling hole in its center, like a puppet. Like it connects her to the dead thing, and then she can control it, make it move, make it do anything. Like if it's a dead plant, she can bring it back to life. This takes place 300 years in the future, and the reason why I had it take place so many years in the future is because I had basically in the world building that around 2020, so in a couple years from now, a pill is invented called Age Pro, where basically it stops the aging process. So I call it elf immortality. Humans have elf immortality in the sense that you can still get stabbed and fall off a cliff, and you can still die from these things. But you, as long as you take Age Pro, you will not age, so you can potentially live forever. The reason why I did 300 years in the future is I wanted to see the ramifications of that. I don't think you could really get the ramifications of that, in 30, 50 years. But 300 years, you're going to have overpopulation. You're going to have people abusing it. Like I have this thing called the Alice Rose incident, where at the beginnings of Age Pro, she was giving her baby Age Pro because she wanted to have a baby forever. So this baby was 19 years old and still a baby. And so that's when they made Age Pro. You only can take it when you're 18. And then there's also a class system. So really rich people can take it at 18, but people that don't have as much money and have to wait for the universal health care to kick in, they can start taking it at 30. So visually you can see the class system. Rich people look 18, poor people look 30. I love world building, so it was really like this, I thought this interesting take on a future I could potentially see. And what would happen if this girl was born with this power to control dead things in a world where things don't really die. The basic plot, though, is that she comes from a poor family. She lives in a trailer park. When she's actually gone, she, supposedly a natural disaster, a tornado touched down and killed everybody in her trailer park. But she was actually able to witness the fact that it was basically exterminators came and sprayed everybody. And killed them, because with that many people on the planet, there needs to be population control, and this is all obviously things that happen that the public don't know about, but poor people in this future are all people ask a lot less questions than if this would have happened to a rich neighborhood. Her mother is killed in this, and she vows to take down the guy responsible for killing her mother and the rest of her trailer park. But then of course there's all these, you know, layers, and you know, it's just fun. It's just fun. The death part isn't fun, but the adventure, revenge, figuring out what's going on, what's really happening, the underneath, this sort of utopia. Everything seems very utopic on the outside, this world, but underneath it's really this dark dystopian future, but you would never know it looking at the surface. That is the basic concept of my book. Question number 2. Was my story inspired by anything in real life? The actual story wasn't, but part of the world building was. The seedling of Riser came from an article I read about 12 years ago from a scientist at Cambridge talking about aging as a disease. He basically says that we can treat aging like it's a disease. There is a cure for it. And so he was working on either a serum or pill, he wasn't sure yet, that would cure aging. And that kind of got the wheels rolling in my head of like, wow, okay, if it's like a disease and the cure is taking this pill that would basically stop the aging process because it's treated as a disease, then we could potentially have immortality. And that's kind of how I started with that. Question number 3. Why did I start writing the story? I'd only written screenplays and teleplays up until then. And that's why I wrote Riser. Riser was actually a TV pilot that I wrote, because I had written it a couple years ago after Buffy the Vampire Slayer was off the air, and I really felt like there was a gap in the TV world of young, teenage, strong female leads, and I really, really missed it. And so I wrote Riser kind of in wish fulfillment of, I wish I had a TV show like this on, where, you know, you have the teenage girl who kicks butt and she's the one with the powers and she saves the boys and she's the one who saves herself. And that's just, I love that. I love it when the girl is the hero. No one needs to save her. She can save her dang self. In fact, her boyfriend needs to be saved and she's the one who's gonna have to save him. So that's the kind of stories I like to write, because it's just, you know, you write what you love to watch. So there you go. So yeah, so that was when I decided to turn Riser into a book. Question number 4. What do I hope to make readers think or feel? Honestly, I write popcorn books. That's what I call them. They have depth. They have, obviously her mother is killed, you know, so it's not, they're not devoid of any emotion and just like action, fun. They, you know, they have layers and depth to them, but I do write like, because think about it, I come from writing screenplays and teleplays, and every scene, every moment has to move the story forward, because you only have, like if you're writing a movie, you only have an hour and a half to 2 hours to tell this story. So you have to make sure that even if you're having these like deep, meaningful moments, they still have to push the plot forward. It still has to feel exciting. So I kind of go into writing my books that way, where every scene or thought or everything has a purpose and moves the story along, but it's still action and fun, you know. So it is, in that way, it is very similar to writing a screenplay. It's just a longer version. I'm comfortable with calling my books popcorn books, because I feel like they are the kind that you'd be eating popcorn to, and you know, and just going, you know, and freak. I hope that, you know, the moments would be good and exciting and fun, and you know, even maybe throw a few surprises out there, you know, that you weren't expecting. That's what I would want people to feel, is just excited. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed me talking. I know it was an older book. It's 2010 is when I released it, but I don't really talk about my previous works that much. I really just kind of talk about what I'm currently working on. So I'm going to try and talk more about my currently, I guess, published books that are out there already. Riser, by the way, is free. It's one of my books that I make permanently free on Amazon and iTunes. So if you have like a Kindle or your phone, the iBooks, you can just download Riser for free if you want to check it out. And thank you so much to Jasmine Little for tagging me. And ooh, I guess I should tag some people. I'm going to tag Kate Cavanaugh and Rowan from Rowan Tree Editing. You two are tagged. Alright, well thank you Mandy for making an awesome tag, and thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!